Okay, my friends, as advertised, some more content coming at you fast and furious. We still have a couple more details to hammer out as far as the full podcast, but I will be announcing that right away here. As for what I'm doing right now, this is going to be a new segment that I'm going to call What the Fit. It is a little pun with fitness and what the shit is going on in fitness, especially in regards to social media and online. I'm going to break down myths. I'm going to call bullshit on what it is. I'm going to throw misinformation out the window and roast people that are lying to you. It's going to be a great time. So let's strap on our seatbelts and let's get to it. Last week, I asked our community if you had any questions, stuff you wanted information, education on, myths you wanted debunked, etc., etc. I got quite a few good questions. I weeded out some of the stuff I wanted to touch on first here and the stuff that I received the most of. So, that being said, let's get to it. Number one on the menu here was pre workout snacks or meals. And specifically, I get this one a lot from my early morning clients, my 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., because they don't want to wake up and eat 60 to 90 minutes prior to their workouts. So, what can I eat prior to so I'm not working out on an empty stomach? Which is a good question. You'll want something that is fast absorbing, viable source of energy. So something simple like a banana that's not going to be hard on your stomach, is easy to get down and digest and use in your workout quickly, or a handful of nuts, something like a handful of almonds, walnuts, something along those lines that's going to be, like I said, that fast source of fuel and give you a little bit of something in your gut so you're not working out fasted and it's going to give you that little extra push you might need. I hope that one helps. Number two on the menu was the best time of day to work out. And I'm always going to give you the same answer to this question whenever you can. Consistently should be the caveat there. I personally like to work out in the morning. I have the best energy, the best desire, the highest intensity. Whereas later in the day, I might just tend to go through the motions. My desire and will has dropped off. The day's frustrated me, yada, yada, yada. So, always the best time to work out is when you can consistently, ideally, routinely at the same time of day. Now, work and life are going to have something to say about that from time to time, but your body is a finely tuned machine, and anything as humans is going to be better when you lock in that circadian rhythm. So, waking up at the same time, eating your meals at the same time, working out at the same time, going to bed at the same time. The more routinely you can do that, the more you'll lock in, the more your body will just go through those steps and have the right cues at the right time. And it just makes everything a lot smoother. So, short answer, whenever you can. Long answer, whenever you can, consistently, hopefully at that same kind of time of day. Hope that helps. Number three is a little bit more specific here, so I'm just going to read off what was sent to me. Specifically, it says 12-week fitness challenges and how they make women feel like the fast fix is the only way they will get shredded or shred the weight. My answer here is going to be multi-layered. So, yes, there are some really well structured and great challenges out there. The issue is they're giving you an arbitrary time window, and then they're going to give you a probably very restrictive form of diet plan or half cooked nutrition plan that's just going to really lower your calories from where they have been and add exercise and extra movement on top of it. So you're burning calories and intaking less calories, thus to create or provide the illusion of this incredible transformation in a short period of time. Now, why would they do that? Well, it gets you emotionally invested. It gets your attention because Leslie in Indiana lost 25 pounds in 8 weeks. And you're like, wow, I've been trying to lose 25 pounds for 5 years and it only took her 8 weeks. So now I'm going to pay this program whatever ludicrous ransom fee they've attached to it. And while it might produce the short term result that you're looking for, it's not going to be long term sustainable because they're not teaching you proper habits or forming positive habits. It's not teaching you any sort of lifestyle. So, what you don't see from these challenges is usually even the winners or the biggest success stories from them relapse or end up right back where they started. And it's just kind of a flash, a moment in time, because it's great marketing, it's great advertising for these companies, and then that makes them more money. But the thing is, here, they're not teaching you how to sustain or go do it on your own. And you're trying to undo years of negativity in a few short weeks. So, yes, they're trying to manipulate you and get you emotionally invested in a short period of time to produce the result that you haven't been able to get because you're not doing the long term things that it requires. I hope that makes sense. Again, if you want some more info, just shoot me a message and we can go deeper in on it. Number 4 was specifically about creatine. The long term use, and is it safe? Can it cause issues with the kidney or the liver? Why or why not? This is a really great question because I'm going to dive deeper into supplements shortly here. But creatine is one of the most researched and scientifically backed supplements out there. So yeah, I really, really like this question and I'm going to dive into it. So specifically, you asked 5 to 10 grams daily. Is that safe or sustainable in the long term? Is it going to cause damage? Am I looking at any issues down the road? So as I said, creatine is one of the most extensively studied and proven true supplements out there. The gold standard is kind of your 5 grams a day. You were asking up to 10 grams a day because I know you're a bigger boy and you've carried a lot of muscle in your life, so you're probably thinking you need a bigger dosage. So, that being said, your kidneys and your livers, long term studies have proven that up to 10 grams a day in healthy individuals hasn't produced any negative or ill effects long term on the organs or anything like that. So you should be safe there. The one kind of asterisk I'll put on that is if you've had any kidney issues or anything back in the day, like always, consult your doctor, consult your medical professional before putting something in your diet or your routine extensively and routinely if you don't want to have any adverse reactions or effects. Again, there's a ton of benefits of creatine, your brain and muscle benefits, hydration, this, that, and the other thing we could go very in depth with, but I want to try and keep it a little bit shorter here. So 5 grams a day, like I said, is considered your gold standard. That's your maintenance dose, and it will safely maintain your muscle creatine saturation in almost everyone. Okay, so again, that being the kind of the gold standard there is your 5 grams a day. 10 grams a day is still safe, but usually not necessary. So once your muscles are kind of saturated, which usually happens within the first 2 to 4 weeks, you are likely, if you're taking up to 10 grams a day, just not absorbing and you're just going to end up peeing that out. So you're literally just flushing your money down the toilet. Some like big lifters, like the big boys like Thor and, Eddie Hall, these guys out there that are huge, massive humans might benefit more from 7 to 10 grams a day routinely, but it's not required for most or the average individual. So things to kind of just watch out for if you are using creatine, and I should specify creatine monohydrate. Make sure you're getting reputable ones. Do your research. Don't just buy from whoever on TikTok with code Jimmy Fresh at checkout to get 20% off because they're getting a kickback and it's probably a dog shit product. Anyways, things to watch out for are like digestive upsets. Are you getting bloated? Are you getting gassy? Are you having any intestinal adverse reactions or anything like that? If so, discontinue use. Consult your medical professional. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a personal trainer and a coach. So, don't ask me for your medical advice. Like I said, make sure you do your homework, get a reputable brand, buy something that is quality, that has lots of history, usually a shorter ingredient list. If you look at one and the ingredient list is as long as your forearm and it's a million different things you can't pronounce, probably just avoid it. And just to retouch on it, if you have a history of any kidney problems or anything like that, make sure you consult your doctor, get your blood work done or checked periodically to just make sure nothing is being upset or thrown into the blender by adding in creatine. Hope that helps, my man. Number 5 here. And this one is the one that I probably got the most on, the most questions, the widest scope. And it's the one that lights me on fire. So, pardon me if I go on a rant here or if I turn into somebody you don't like or maybe you think I'm too intense, but it's because there's so much noise and there's so much information and so much garbage out there about this. And it just preys on the naive and just tries to drain your bank account. What am I talking about? Supplements. Supplements in general. People are always asking me, usually when they're starting their fitness journey or kind of upping their game, what do I need? What extra do I need to have? What do I need to buy? What do I need to benefit this? What do I need to get rid of that last bit of belly fat? Yada, yada, yada. Supplements piss me off, okay? Because they're not necessary for most people. Supplementation is meaning in lieu of. You need to supplement because you're not getting enough or because you're at a point where you have a higher demand than the regular average everyday person. So, have you spoken to your doctor? Have you gotten blood work done? Are you a performance athlete? If not, supplements probably aren't for you right out of the gate. Okay? Why is that? Well, just last year in 2024, the supplement industry in Canada was valued at just over $4 billion. $4 billion. That's an absolute shit ton of money. It is projected to be almost $7 billion industry by 2030. Why does that bother me? Because it is completely unregulated. Nothing. Usually everything in Canada is so over scrutinized and has to go through a billion FDA approvals, this, that, and the other thing. You can't get frickin' brands of cereal here because there's so many regulations and whatever. But your supplements and your vitamins and all these things are going to be unregulated is absolutely wild to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But this is why it's going to be a $7 billion industry. You're going to get told you need this $800 stack of supplements when you're coming out of the gate to start your fitness journey. And just like I touched on with the creatine, you're not going to absorb most of it. You're going to end up peeing most of it out and flushing your money down the toilet. You do not need it. Protein is probably the most widely discussed one. And yes, protein powders and things can be very beneficial. But do you have an average intake of protein? Do you know what that is? Do you know what your base level required protein is? Are you hitting it on the daily? If you don't know the answer to those questions, then what is extra? Why do you think you need a protein supplement? It's a great question, right? Again, you're trying to skip to step 10 without doing the prerequisite work. Like if you were doing a connect the dots, no judgment, or just doing one with your kids and you started at dot 1 and you went to dot 10 and then dot 27 and then dot 76 and you went done, I bet you your picture looks like garbage because you didn't follow the steps. You have to follow the map if you want to get to your destination. Do the work before you get there. Supplements are further down the line, okay? So stop worrying so much about it. Have a full, whole, well-rounded diet. Here's where you start out of the gate. Eat more vegetables, drink more water, up your protein, and prioritize your sleep schedule. There's your basic report card. Once you're doing those things on the regular and you're hammering them consistently, then you might need to talk about supplementation or worry about it and look into things. But as I've touched on before, you're going to want to consult your physician, your doctor, your medical professional. That doesn't mean Jimmy Joe on TikTok who has a bunch of followers because he's popular. He has a high school education and he gets his information out of a magazine at the doctor's office or the dental office, okay? It's not a viable source. Stop getting your fitness and your nutritional and medical advice off TikTok, okay? It's not the spot. It's not where you're going to get it. It's bullshit. It's misinformation. Anybody can say anything they want. and it's unfounded and complete garbage, and they're just trying to get money out of you. So sorry to go on this crazy rant. Supplements piss me off. They're probably not necessary. I've hardly used them in my 15 years of lifting, and here we are. Once in a while, if you don't have time to eat a meal after your workout or whatever, sure, have a protein shake, get something in you to make sure you're hitting those macros or getting as close to them as you can. Consult your personal trainer or your coach to help you figure out what these macros are and lock in your nutrition and your diet. Again, as long as they are certified to do so, not just some bro on the internet who says they're a personal trainer or a coach, okay? And go from there. These are the best starting blocks to work with. This is the best direction I can push you in, but don't worry about the supplements out of the gate and lock in that basic report card. I could go on and on and on for days, but I'm going to end my rant there. So again, I hope that helps. And if not, shoot me a message. We'll talk more about it. Number 6, last one on the menu for today. So again, specific here, I'm going to read this one out. So I was asked for fitness strategies for tradesmen 40 and over who work very labor-intensive jobs that are finding their old methods of training aren't cutting it anymore. The risk of injury is higher. Recovery, all these things are much harder to manage. Help. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a broad thing here to lump everybody into. Simple answer here is like probably not what you want to hear, but you've heard it a million times. Your diet is 80% of your success here, especially as you're getting older. So just because we age doesn't mean we need to get old. And what I mean by that is your choices in your 30s and your 40s are really going to dictate how you age. I've met people in their 60s and 70s that put people in their 30s and 40s to shame because they were doing the right stuff in their 30s and 40s, while others were trying to make up for the lack of good decisions or poor lifestyle choices they made at that point. So, yeah, like you may need to modify your training and focus more on recovery as you age. That's where hiring a trainer or a coach is great because they're going to do assessments with you. They're going to find flaws or weaknesses in your chain. They're going to help you assess, form a pathway to fixing those things, getting beyond that so that you can continue doing the things you love with less risk of injury and maximizing your recovery. So hopefully you know a trainer or where you can find one of these people. But I would look to them, consult them on your workout regime, your program, how you can maximize recovery, etc. The best advice I can give you here is get your diet and your lifestyle on point. Okay, if you're struggling with all of these things, regardless of your age or your job, your diet and your lifestyle, sorry, my man, they're probably shit. Okay. You need to clean house before you start blaming outside sources or saying it's your age or your job, etc. that's getting to you. Yes, there's extenuating circumstances and there's always exceptions to these things, but more than likely the most common thing here is diet and lifestyle. Okay, get that stuff in order, and probably the issues you're running into are with joints and body parts feeling burnt out or worn down or limited. And it's because your diet and everything sucks. Your macros are out of whack. Your micros are out of whack. You're probably not getting enough of what you need. Again, this is where consulting a medical professional and getting some blood work done is great, because just saying like, oh, I can't do what I used to do, that sucks, fix me. I'm not a doctor, okay? Go get some blood work done, see where you're lacking. Instead of trying to put Band-Aids on the holes in your ship, go actually assess them, figure it out so that you can continue moving forward. Okay? You can't just keep being a bro and expect success long term or to age gracefully and well when you're just kind of winging it and then complaining when shit doesn't go well. Probably not the answer you want to hear, but the answer you need to hear. And I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. If you don't like it, go to one of the gumdrop people that's going to blow smoke up your ass and take your money and be happy about it. It's not me, my guy. If you want quality advice, you want good advice, this is the spot to get it. You want me to tear down the BS you're being fed on the daily, the misinformation, the myths, all of that, this is going to be a great spot. So, with that being said, that is going to conclude my first episode of What the Fit. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you like it. If you do, don't forget to do those things: like, comment, subscribe. We want to grow this. We want to make some noise. We want to shut down the garbage that you're being fed on the daily, and we want to have positive change and positive influence on our community. So if you liked it, let somebody know, share it with some friends. If you hated it, let me know. Roast me. Come at me, bro. I love it. I love to have a good conversation, a good battle, whatever it is. Please just spread it, let people know, and let's all grow together. Have a fantastic day, my friends. We will see you soon.